All right, you ask me a question on anything. All right? Because probably I have so many conferences now. All right? Here we go. I said yesterday, GCF. Factor out the GCF first. Factor out the GCF first. Some of you didn't do that. So you missed every single problem. All right? So, again, what is common between 5 and 80? 5. So you have to pull out a 5. When you pull out a 5, x squared minus 16 is left. Connor, are you okay with that? Now, how am I factoring x squared minus 16? Well, what we do is we write the 5 down. Now, some of you guys didn't bring down the factor GCF. That's got to come down. Then you open 2 sets of parentheses. Now, the only way I can make x squared is with what? With x and x. Now, the middle term is 0. The middle term is 0. So I need a plus 4 and a minus 4. Has to be a plus 4, and it has to be a minus 4. Now, I am going to do one more thing here. All right, I am going to look at this. Here, 4x, negative 4x makes 0. That's how you check your work. You understand? Right? Carly, you good. Connor, you understand there's nothing I can do if you're not going to help me. Nothing. All right? Now, everybody try number 2. Factor out the GCF. First thing, factor out the GCF. All right, Hanson, what am I factoring out?
3.
Factoring out a 3. Thank you. And what's left behind?
X plus
X what?
X squared plus 4x plus 4.
Beautiful. That's exactly right. Okay? Now, Carla, you good? Bless you. Bless you. Goodness. There we go. 2 sets of parentheses. I got you. It's right here. All right, Hanson, what am I doing? How do I make x squared?
2 x's.
Okay, I prefer you say x and x. Okay. Now, here is where we need the what?
Positive 2.
Yes. All right, so here we go. Positive 2, positive 2. Because 2x and 2x makes the 4x. Do you understand that? Now, I said I prefer that you guys write it as 3 times x plus 2 squared. I think only like 2 or 3 people did it. All right? It's not necessary, but that's how it should be. All right? Now, you're supposed to speak up. Does everybody understand it's not doing good if you just write that down with me? It's not. It doesn't teach you anything. That's what you have to understand. Good.
On the test, I think that I thought something else because instead of 4, I put 6 for some reason.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Some of you just didn't do the practice. That's the problem. You're not practicing enough. You let me do the work and then you go home and go, wow, he's good at that. And you don't take the time to do it yourself. I did all 60-something problems. You were supposed to go home and do them again to make sure you understand. All right? That's the problem. All right, now we're at number 3. All right, what's the GCF? X. What's left behind? Now what? Does that make 15?
No, minus
Shh. Plus 3 and a minus 12.
Oh,
You want it to be what?
minus 3.
That's right. I want it to be a negative 15. So it's a negative 3 and a negative 12. And again, negative 3, negative 12 makes negative 15. You understand that? And then negative times the negative is a what? Positive. What?
What I did is I did it with 9.
But that makes 13, not 15. 9 plus 4 is 13. You see what I'm saying, right? I mean, it's a common mistake. It's not like you don't know what you're doing. You have to be more careful. 9 plus 4 equals 13. True? Right? So it wasn't a big deal. Right? You just made a careless mistake with the numbers. Okay. Yes, tell me what to do. Yeah, it was. Exactly.
Take out A.
Well, first thing, factor by grouping.
Take out A.
Good.
Plus 2 plus B.
Very good.
Plus C.
Yep.
Take out B. So it's 1 plus C.
That's not that hard. Oh, that's why some of you are frustrating me. It's really not that hard. Do you agree? I mean, I need you to tell me you're good. You understand that. Right? Do you understand if writing down what I'm writing is not helping? Okay, I mean it. Come on. We're going to have another test next Friday. And you're going to have to factor again. And there's one more step after factoring. That's it. And the step after factoring is the easiest thing in the world. But if you don't know how to factor, guess what? Next Friday, it's going to be exactly what you got this Thursday or Wednesday, whenever the test is. Everybody hear me? Come on now. Now is your time to speak up and make sure you understand. All right, here we go. Number 5. All right, Ellis, what's common? Good. Now, some of you yesterday forgot when the leading coefficient is negative, you factor out a negative. And IXL people, if you guys get stuck on one, just go to the next one. All right, because there's factoring by grouping that you have to factor out. You always have to factor out GCF. All right, if you figure that out, that's good. 70 was good. All right, now I'm factoring out negative 3y. Okay, Ellis. I'm happy. Now what? Hold on a second. Now remember, you guys are supposed to be doing this before she tells me the answer. Then if you get the right answer, you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, when she's done telling me, you raise your hand and say, I'm not sure why you're doing that. All right, tell me. Where do you want the 3 and the 1 to go? And so now read that. How much is that? Is that going to work? So it can't. So now instead of 6, we have to use what? 3 and 2. Now 3, where does the 3 have to go? Exactly, it has to go on the right. Now, with your smiley faces, you get what? And I want negative 7x. That's correct. Wow, come on, girl. That wasn't that hard. All right, Avery, you ready? Tell me what to do.
3.
Good.
2x.
2x, what?
2x plus 5.
2 what?
Oh, wait. Squared. 2x squared plus 5x.
Good.
And then it'll be 2x. And x. And then
Where does the 2 have to go? On the right.
plus
1 plus 4 makes 5. I'm happy with that. Agreed?
Yes.
All right. Let's hear, Carly, let's hear what you have to say about this one. That's okay. It's just a negative. Well, listen to me now. Honestly, and I'm not being funny. This is the easiest one. It really is super easy. You have to recognize here. Here's the only thing you have to recognize. This right here is almost the same as that right there. Do you understand that? Except it's off by a negative. Do you understand that? So if something's off by a negative, we're factoring out a negative. So this positive 2 becomes a negative 2. You hear me? And when you pull out the negative, the 4 now becomes a what? The 4 is a positive. It becomes a negative, and the y becomes a... Do you understand that? Now, it would be nice to make yourself a note. If the two factors are not the same, they're off by a negative. So you factor out a negative. Now, and then you switch the signs. Perfect. So now that becomes 3x, y minus 4 minus 2, and I just rewrite it so I can see visually that's the same as that now. Do you understand that? Now, what's factoring here? What's common?
y minus 4.
That's right. So now we write down a y minus 4, and then what's left behind?
Yeah.
3x minus 2. Now star it and make sure you review it. Factoring out a negative. All right. Connor, you're up. Number 8.
The greatest one factor 5y.
Good.
And you have 3x squared and 7x. Oh, plus 7x. And plus 2.
Now what?
You have the greatest balance of 5.
Good.
And the 3x. Well, 3x and then another x.
Good. Where does the 2 go?
3 and the 3. 3 to the 3.
Why do you think 3? You mean we're looking at the factors of 2 now. Do you understand that part or not? So where does the 2 going to go? And what else goes?
1.
On the... And then we check. How much is that?
1x.
Makes... If... That's
Oh,
right.
they're both off.
That's exactly correct. What are you thinking?
I got this.
Come on, it's not that hard. Right? It's not that hard.
I just really put the juicy.
Come on, every time you're looking for a GCF. Every time. All right, Cole, help me. What about number 9? Is there a GCF? No. So now we just have to, it's annoying. It's hard. All right, so we got to do our 2 sets of parentheses. All right, so how do you want to break down 18x squared? I'm just going to, you're going to walk me through what you think. 9x and what?
9x and 2.
Okay. What are the factors of
7 and 5.
what are the factors of 12?
Oh.
So what you're doing is the factors of 18x squared go here. The factors of what? 12 go here.
But would it be like 5 and
5 times 7 is not 12.
Oh, I was thinking about
I know what you're thinking about. I need the factors of 12. What are the factors of 12? 6 and? Shh. Leave them alone. This is why we're here. 6 and 2. Now, I know it's not 6 and 2. How do I know it's not 6 and 2? Because where is the 6 going to go? It can't. The reason it can't is because it shares a common 3. You with me? So, can it go on the right side? Can I put 6 there? No, because it has a common factor with 2. Do you hear me? Does not work. So it can't be 6 and 2. Do you agree? All right, so now we've knocked out 6 and 2. What are the other factors of 12? Yep, so we're going to do 4 and 3 now. Where does 4 have to go? On the left, and 3 has to go. Now we're going to check to see if we're right. How much is this? How much is that? Can I make 35 with that? If? Yes. You have to add them together. They both have to be negative. Right? Because negative 4 times negative 3 is the positive 12. And negative 8x and negative 27x is negative 35x. Good for you.
I did 6 and 3.
You can't. It's not possible. So let's see what you got. Even though I'm glad you said that. 6x and 3x, what did you put down? Negative 9 and negative 24 is negative 33. It's totally fine. But now look up here. I'm going to show you. I know that's not the right answer. Come on, you're not looking up. There's a common factor. You hear what I'm saying, right? So that's a way of kind of checking. You still with me? All right, I'm happy. All right. Any questions with that? All right, Hanson. What about number 10? Yeah, is everybody looking at that? Some people didn't realize it was prime. I tried to make one so obvious that you had to put prime down. Because are there any factors of 5 and 1 that can make 9? There's no combination there. None. Do you understand that? No combination, no matter how hard you try, is going to make a 9. So that's why we call that what? That's why we call that prime. Number 12 is definitely not prime. Grouping? Yes.
Okay. Hold on. So yeah. And then it's x squared, 5x squared, and then plus 2, and 5x minus 2, and then 5x squared.
That's it. Because x squared plus 2 can't factor. How's that? Ellis? Is that good? Hey, you back on track? Hey. Carly? Now you understand what I'm saying, writing it out. You got to be making the effort yourself first. All right, here we go. 12. Give me a shot. There's no common factor.
So, isn't it just x squared?
Yes, it is. Very good.
2?
X squared, and then what?
Oh, 4.
Has to be 4 and 1. 1x squared and 4x squared. So what are the signs now? Both negative. Now, some of you left it like that. Yeah, you can factor that now. Okay? Say x squared minus 1 factors to what?
Oh,
X
plus 1.
and then x squared minus 4 factors to? Exactly. I know. That's what I keep telling you, because you're not practicing right. You're being silly. That's why. I'll tell you why. Cole, you understand that? Connor? All right. Everybody try 13 and 14. Everybody's trying 13 and 14. All right. Quickly, quickly, quickly. And now you can tell whether or not you understand it. Okay. If you get 13 and 14 correct, you're in good shape. That's what I said, yes. Yes. I said, now what you do is something that I want to do. You want to be a good student. Just average. Come on, let's go. Try. No, it would be the Q would go here. It would be 2y to the fourth minus 4q plus 4y to the fourth minus 2y. So it has to be in standard form. There you go. Then you yes, you do. All right, here we go. So 13. All right, Carly, let you help me. What am I factoring in 13?
3x.
Good job, girl. Then what?
So it's x squared plus x minus 2.
Okay, now what?
Well, you bring down the 3x, and then you do 2 50s, and it's x in both of them. And then I said it was plus 1 minus 1.
Now look right here. First of all, I know you're not right, so pay attention. This times this has to equal this.
Oh my god.
And then right here, smiley face, 1 and negative 1 makes 0. So now, what do I need to change?
So it's plus 2 minus 1.
Plus 2 minus 1. That is correct.
No.
Doesn't matter, all right? So I'm saying if you check your work, you know you're right and wrong. No, you can do x minus 1 times x plus 2.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't matter the order. Okay? You see why it should be plus 2 and not minus 2, right? All right. Now, go ahead, Avery.
So
What's common here?
3x.
A what is common for number 14?
X.
X. Okay, now what?
55a squared plus 2ab minus 7b squared. Okay. So would you put the 5a on that side
Yep.
and the 7b?
5a and a. That's how you should start. The only factors of 7b squared are going to be and all right. Now where does the 7 go? On the right or the left? If I put the 7b here, that makes how many? You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. All you have to do is check. Does not matter. All you have to do is check. So that 35 is way too big. So I know now that the 7b has to go over here and the 1b has to go over here. Now is that correct? So I want the 7 to be and the b to be. That's correct. All right, here we go. 15. You're up. Now, I don't want you to switch the order around. Do not switch the order. When you switch the order, the negative 2x squared, it's harder than to have it at the end. Trust me. So what are the factors of 15? So I'm going to put 5 and 3. Now, the factors of 2x squared. 2x and x. Now, it doesn't matter where we put them, so we're just going to see 2x and x. Now I just do the smiley face. How much is this?
6.
And this is, so I want,
Want that 3 minus x.
that's exactly right. Plus and minus. Exactly correct. All right? Good? All right, let's check out 16.
Yeah.
All right, Ellis, tell me what's I can factor out on 16. Factoring out of 3 gives me, good. Now what? Good. Good job. So again, I would want, because we're all smart, we should say x plus 2y squared. Connor, you still happy? You still good? You know what you're doing? Are you mad at yourself about yesterday? Anybody else mad at themselves?
Yeah. I'm
Come
still
on! Simple. I don't know how any else I can help you. You got to tell me if you don't know something. If it's not making sense, put your hand up in the air. I'm always going to yell. It doesn't matter. Right? Come on. You're going to sit next year in high school. You can't, if you don't know your math, just sit there. If you have a grumpy old math teacher, who cares? Ask him anyway. Come on. All right? You're the one who wants to be smart. All right. 17. 4a squared minus 100.
The
What's the GCF?
2.
Think for yourself.
4.
4. 4. 4 goes into 4 and 100. You factor out a 4. Now, a squared minus 25. Oh, wow. Now how hard is that? 4 parentheses, a plus 5, a minus 5. Hey, you hearing me? Are you doing IXL? If you're doing IXL, go back there. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, let's check out 18. We're almost done. Okay. What's common, Connor? Y squared. Go ahead, tell me.
And it's x squared and negative 2x minus 63.
Beautiful. Good. Factors of 63 that make 2. Shh, don't tell him. That doesn't work. Grade 21 is out. What else? Shh, I don't care that you know. I want him to think about it. 63. What times what is 63? Most common one. You finish all of it? What is it? Tell me. What times what is 63? Now, let me show you something. Look up on the board. See how that's 21? What times what's 21? What's 3 times 3? That's another way. You with me? So now what? Yes, negative 9 and positive 7. You okay with that? No. Because it's a GCF. Listen to me now. Do you hear me? It's a GCF. There's a y squared, a y squared, a y squared. You have to pull it out. You good? All right, every time, GCF. Okay. Now, I want you guys to pay attention on this. This is the important thinking questions, okay? So look up, look up, look up, look up. Everybody could listen. All right, just to make sure you got the right answer the right way. All right, now this one, what I always told my kids when I was working on them, these are directly off the SAT. This is a dumb question. You should be able to look at that and say the only possible answer is A. No other option. None. There's no work involved. You're supposed to be able to look at that and say the answer has to be A. Now, how do I know that? Because I'm interested in 9A to the 4th. Now, I'm going to highlight something. 3 squared. What's 3 squared?
9.
9. So that's a possibility, right?
Oh, and the S.
3 to the 4th. Is that 9? No. 9 squared. 9 to the 4th.
Big number.
Now, do you see how silly that problem is? That's on the SAT. Not much thought to me on that. They want you to factor, correct? But it's not necessary. The reason why it's not necessary is because you can just look at the answers. All right, now let's look at 20. Now, this is the same principle. Keep your eyes up and listen to me. There's only one answer here. I did what? 3 times 2 times 4. Right off the bat, that's 24x squared. Does everybody agree?
Yep.
So it definitely is not A, and it's definitely not D. Now, how did I know it was C without doing any work? Because if I do my smiley faces, there has to be a middle term.
18.
Has to be a middle term. Do I care what the middle term is? No, because B does not have a middle term. So I can safely cross B out, and I know the answer is what? C. C is the correct answer on that. 21. Really? Come on. Really? You can't factor 4x squared minus 9? 4x squared minus 9 factors to 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. And they're asking you, well, what's the value of P? I don't know how you missed that.
Oh, I got the one right.
You're supposed to get 1 out of 4 right. So if you got 1 out of 4, that just means you guessed and got 1 right. Does everybody see that right there? Does everybody see how simple that was? Seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying on that? It's a little different because we haven't said anything like that. Carla, do you see why that is? A 2 there. Right? Do you agree? It looks different, but they're just trying to throw you off a little bit. All right, now let's look at the next one. Which expression is equivalent? All right? Now, here, I just was trying to see if you remembered you had to distribute a what? A negative, right? So when you distribute the negative, plus, plus, minus, plus. So what's 2x squared plus 3x squared?
5x.
So it can't be C or D. And now, negative 2x has to be what? A. All right. Listen, you guys, good job today. And I mean it when I say I want you mad at yourself, right? I really do. I want you mad because you're better than what you did. All right? Now, concentrate on the IXL. Try to get up to a 70. I'm going to give you some extra credit for that. And I'm having probably conferences with every single one of your parents. All right? And that's what I'm going to tell them. Study over the weekend. You got a long day tomorrow because tomorrow's going to be a little easy day. That means you can study in the afternoon, study on Saturday, study on Sunday, and be ready on Monday.
You got it.
No, Monday. New material.